Hey everyone, it's Dan. Welcome back to the lab. Today we'll be doing a deck profile for the Guts Faiz list that has been running around quite recently. So what makes the Faiz Guts list work is that Guts has a advent that searches for our favorite Sea Demon God, because generic red Brave search is very strong, so we shall make use of that to make this dream come true. So first off, we run our one Guts, of course, because you only ever need one chili. For this list, Gut can increase his own cost for each count you have, and when your opponent's Spirit Ultimate attacks, by discarding one card from your hand during this battle, your opponent's Spirit Ultimates with 15k or less cannot reduce your life. This works on effect damage as well, so it's really strong if your opponent somehow has like flash timing, effect damage and whatnot, or other forms of damage that they might have. So this is very nice to, you know, use to stay alive. His on attack effect is gain 2 count and destroy one spirit or ultimate that is lower than himself, which is quite nice because it helps you clear Javats, hence why this is very nice to have. We are of course running 3 copies of Faiz. It's our finisher, very straightforward. Faiz has on attack, opposing spirit and ultimates must block if able. If he is blocked, for each symbol this spirit has, you send 1 life to the reserve. So this makes it super easy to one-shot your opponent by having a Brave, a purple spirit, so his level 2 effect, which gives him a purple symbol if you have a purple spirit on board. And he also gains an additional purple symbol as well. So his level 2 will give him 2 purple symbols if you have a purple spirit, and then 1 Brave, he will be 4 damage. And if you include the 1 swing off of the gut, then that would be definitely lethal. So that is our finisher. Next, we are running the Gut package. So the Gut package is the 3 copies of Roto Gut, 3 copies of the Drago Elder, 3 of the Veteran Swordsman, and 3 of the Zweizova. So the reason why is because, very simply, Gut is our chibi, so he turns everything to life. We'll start with Zweizova. So Zweizova can Brave to a Scarlet Flame, cost 4 and higher, and he has the Brave Engage. So when you Brave to your Gut that is in pre-advent, you can activate the effect, and the effect is to gain cost from the void until that spirit hits the maximum level, but most of the time it's just him and Rota, so engage can only ever give us 3 call, but 3 call is a lot for a red deck, so I'm very happy to take the +3. This is why Zweizova is in here. He also can draw you a card and destroy Nexuses for every 3 count that you have, which is nice. It clears out all the pesky ice mountains, frozen volcanoes, so on and so forth, Petiment Gales, and other stuff as well. The other passive during your turn, when your count 6 or higher, this spirit's destruction effects cannot be prevented. Although we will not use that skill very often, it is a very nice skill to have when you need to clear annoying obstacles, so that's why he is great. Next is the Veteran Soldier. Of course, he is here to search out your Braves, because on summon and on advent you can gain 1 count, open top 3 to find a red Brave. So with that, it makes it super easy for Gut deck to use him and find your red Brave, i.e. the Z margins, so that's why he is at 3. He's also your turn advent and doesn't need counters to advent, so he's one of the fastest advents to get out of Jammer as well, alongside Guts effect. Drago Elder is because he is the other Espansion. At the start of your attack step, you can move up to 5 call from your trash to your spirits and on Nexus if you have a Gut. Hard once per turn. If you have a 10k and above spirit, you can draw 2 cards. That's why I say it's fake Espansion, because apparently they had to make a condition that you have a Brave Spirit on board to draw 2, rather than the actual Espansion where your hand size is 4 or less, you can already draw 2. This guy says you need 5 hand or less. He also has a level 2 effect to clear Nexuses when a 6k and above spirit attacks, so that's also very nice. However, most of the time we will have Veteran and Roto Gut to make the 10k count so that we can draw a card, so that's fine. So the last but not least, we have our 3 Roto Guts. Roto Guts is a your turn advent. He's an Emperor Beast. What he does is on attack he draws 1, if he's brave he draws another card, and OC for by discarding 1 card from your hand you can destroy 1 opposing spirit ultimate that is smaller than him. So together with these Wizava, he's 20k at max level. If he's brave to Z margin, he is 21k, which clears a lot of things, assists in getting out the big stuff so that you can use Guts effect to prevent the damage. He's also a draw 2 on attack, so it's nice. And dealing 2 damage early means your Faiz doesn't need to work too hard to shoot the rest of it down. Of course, we're running Faiz, we have our 2 Z margins. The only effect you need to know for this list is that he target attacks, because the other effect is when he is braved to both sides, being Emperor Beast, he can, give them 10k. Oh, so it's like not really relevant because it does so much already, being able to be a cheap target attacking enabler for Faiz to kill people with. So that's why he is here. Okay, next up. We got 3 of the Snake Boy. This would be Badger. However, there are a lot of times where it's a bit slow because you need your opponent to either hit you or use a spirit on summon effect. This meta sometimes is a bit hard to rely on that, so the Snake's force open condition, which is when you contract advent a cost 6 or higher spirit, you can activate this immediately. So with Guts plus Host effect, basically all the advents are legal targets to open the snake, and the burst effect actually is to summon himself first, and then and send 2 calls from opposing field to reserve. Actually, it doesn't even say spirit ultimate, so you can send calls from field to reserve. For every 2 count you have, you increase the amount of calls sent by 1, which is nice because we want to be able to send more calls at the same time to feed its level 2 skill, which is when opposing spirit ultimates are being depleted, you can once per turn draw 2 cards. Per copy, by the way. It's not hard once per turn, so that is very, very amazing. He allows to be a Faiz body as well because he's purple, and because he's purple, it enables Faiz to get an extra symbol. And since his draw effect is like a hard passive, with Rotor Guard, can use his discard effect to draw cards during your opponent's turn also, which is very, very cool actually. So I like this snake a lot, and that's why he's in here instead of Badger. It's more like I don't like to sit and wait for value, I want to get the value myself kind of thing. That's why he's a 3. Your 3 Lavidets, of course, you are contract deck, you gain counters very fast. It's a free 1 draw, 1 call, and he's also a purple body for Faiz. Occasionally the send 1 life to void is relevant, but we don't use that here. It's okay because we can just punch for 5 anyways. So the 1-offs we run, 1 Febrani, you're a red contract deck, very straightforward. When your count increases to 2 or more, you can activate this burst. If you have a red symbol, you draw 2 cards and you summon him, and he can destroy an Nexus on attack. Again, 8 cost means Faiz body. Very early Faiz body equals to faster kills. Drawing cards with a body to flip the next card is also very good, which is the 1 red world. Now they are 1, hence with every red deck that we have that runs a contract, these 2 are probably gonna go in. Oh, sorry, more about red world. Deploy, he destroy the lowest cost spirit, and his tense condition is when a cost 5 or higher rate spirit attack, and during your attack step at the end of a cost 5 or higher rate only spirit, you send 1 life to the opposing reserve. So for the fact that cannot stack, it's already limited to 1, but it's mostly because you can flip to the B side and give all your originally cost 5 and higher red spirits an extra symbol. This doesn't need to be red 1 color. It has return to prime, means you can go back to Nexus form when it leaves. He also has a destroy text, which is destroying 1 10k spirit. If you have 2 count or more, increase the PP limit by 10k. So nuking a 20k spirit with 1 cost, and then the low on the symbols and damage on both sides makes this card limited to 1 and a must have in all the red contract decks. Next for the 1-offs, we have the 1 copy of Mark 6 and of course the 1 copy of Spritzer. Same reason as what I gave in the purple Nova list. You can check the description below for that video, because I don't like Shark and a bunch of other things, and Farom kinda hurts us against like this dude, and hand size increase bursts. Other than Javat's one, there are a bunch of others that I don't like. The snake is also apparently very common in a lot of lists now, so that is a legitimate reason to run this, because I don't want that activating, plucking off my stuff and then drawing cards. Although the condition is not as easy to proc on my turn, but if my opponent forces the snake out, I'll be very scared, because that means they're trying to extend for more plays, which I don't want. So one of each, very nice. So our 2 Burst Flames, hand unaffected, can destroy Brave, Spirit and Ultimates. The burst effect is also nice, can kill 3 12k and below Spirit or Ultimates. When your opposing Spirit Ultimate attacks, he also can destroy a 20k below Spirit or Ultimate, so very nice card. It's also a red effect that destroys, so being able to destroy on opponent's turn again feeds the snake, means I draw more cards on my opponent's turn or on my turn if I choose to use this aggressively, but it's very rare. We don't have the core unless we Drago Elder, which is still okay. Still a good card. We run 2 Diamond Walls. This deck desperately needs the Diamond Walls. We can cast the Diamond Walls here. I don't like Bloodshed Blade for this list, although it is a possible option to get your count up earlier in the matches. So you technically can go into Siegfried XV, because I do have scenarios where this deck can go to 6 count. So maybe Bloodshed can help the deck reach 6 count faster so that I can go into Sieg XV, but that is not the aim for today. The aim is Blaster Faiz. Although Bloodshed provides a body once you brave it, but that is a situation for another time. We run 2 copies of our Zero Barrier. Again, Javad is running around rampantly, and I do not like it when there are no Velve comes down, because that will definitely kill off my Faiz. So we need to be really cautious when we are trying to push with Faiz alone without a target attacking enabler. Next is the 3 Dark Towers for our Nexus lineup alongside the Castle of Edera, Lava Castle of Edera. Dark Tower stops the opponent from adventing on their turn and summoning without paying the cost on their turn. Stops all the sharks, because shark needs to advent on their turn. So if you kill the shark one good time and then put this down, they probably will scoop. It's also good against superstars because they have to have their hand unaffected and the body on the board unaffected to be able to stack. Not always they will have both. They don't run hand protection, like passive hand protection, so they can't stack the Nova on top, they can't stack the Ganymede for aggressive plays. However, they can normal summon the Ganymede to kill this first before they go into the Nova. But this is mostly for the sharks, the lampposts, and all the other crazy stuff that needs to advent on their turn, which I want to stop. It also stops this deck actually, because this deck has a lot of main step advents, but we don't really care because all our effects are not when advent, especially the cost 4. The cost 4 is on summon as well, so we can get around the cannot advent for the mirrors if we ever see any. 3 Edera, very straightforward turn 1 play. It's a draw 1, drop 1. If you have 5 count, you don't have to discard. It's unaffected when your opponent has 4 count or less, and it gains you 1 count and clears a 5k below spirit. So mostly here for the +1 count in the draw and drop. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this Blaster Faiz video. I will be putting the full list, or at least a picture of the full list at the end of it here. So if you guys enjoyed, if you guys like what you see, do hit that like and subscribe, do ring that bell also so you can get notifications whenever I make very nice spicy deck videos like this, or reviews for coming sets. I believe the next one is the BSC 42, which I'm quite excited about because that set gave us a new Red Advent. It also gave us a new Grandstein toy. So yeah, if you guys, hope you guys really like this video, and I'll see you again in the next one. Janne!